Hello, welcome to Undisputed with Clay and Brenton, where pretty much everything we say could be disputed. So in this episode, we're going to keep it short and sweet. We're going to talk about our picks for next year. Even though it's really far off, we're just going to start tossing some ideas out there, and maybe talk a little bit about what we think of as far as the pairings and where crew chiefs are going, where drivers are going, and how that might affect. But we're going to start off with the picks. So we have three categories. We have breakout, we have bust, and we have coming in hot to the Daytona 500. So with those three categories, let's start. Clay, you go first with your breakout, and then I'll toss, and then we'll just go back and forth.
Okay, so not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed this past year. I thought William Byron was gonna come in and be a sensation in the 24, and be the next Jeff Gordon. He had a really good year in 17. In the 9 car for Junior Motorsports. So had a lot of high hopes for him, and he kind of let us all down this year.
Yeah.
But I see a really, really bright future now between him and Jack Knaus. I really think they could be the next Jimmy Johnson and Jack Knaus again. So, will he be so great that he goes off, and runs away with the championship? Maybe not, but I see William Byron having a breakout year this year. I think he's gonna win, multiple races, make the playoffs, and maybe even get to the championship 4. I think that might be pushing it a little bit this early in the season, but I do see Byron winning some races and getting his way into the playoffs. As far as a long shot, this might surprise some people, but I've seen more than once the hero to zero when you win a championship. So Joey Logano, he's on cloud 9 right now. Had an okay season. I mean, I think if you watch the last episode, you'll know we're not really happy with the 2 race win in Homestead and win the championship, but that Logano hit the wall theoretically and probably literally this year, this coming year.
Yeah.
I don't see him making the playoffs again. I think he's going to have an awful year, much like his teammate did back in 2013 following his 2012 championship. Those guys don't know how to keep that momentum going after a championship. So
True, they are very up down.
I see Logano having a pretty rough year in 19. And my favorite race of the year, Daytona 500. That's what I watch. I think it's going to be an exciting one. I think everybody's going to be, kind of green and, making a lot of mistakes at the 500. But one person that I think you're going to see continue to get stronger this year is Chase Elliott. So I think Chase, if he can survive the big ones, I think he's got a good shot at winning the 500, not only because he's a good racer, but he is also a really good plate racer. He's good with the drift. He's got some pretty good blocking skills. I mean, probably the best blocker I know of since Earnhardt Jr. So I see him being good in the 500 this year. Here's my long shot, Brent.
Okay.
This is going out on a limb, but RCR hasn't, exactly set the world on fire lately. Between Ryan Newman and Austin Dillon, they won the 500 last year, but RCR has been kind of crappy. And with that, I think RCR is, I think they find their best opportunities at plate races at kind of the long shot tracks. So I would not be too terribly surprised if RCR follows up last year's Daytona 500 win with another 500 win.
Interesting. Okay.
But not with Austin Dillon. I think Austin has. I hope he enjoyed his 500 win last year because I don't think he's getting another. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm pretty sure it's confirmed now, but I believe Daniel Hemrick is going to be coming in the 31 car.
Yeah. Okay.
I've watched Daniel in the Xfinity series, and he's pretty good. I don't think he has the trophies to back up how good of a racer he is. But with that being said, I think you're going to see him come into Daytona with, a really, smart head on his shoulders and drive a really good race, a really cautious race, and make his way to the end. And, be just aggressive enough to maybe get up there and go for a win.
Interesting. Okay.
When we come to Daytona, I always like to see a first-time winner, and sometimes we do. So,
yeah.
Chase Elliott would be the smart person's choice, but if we're gonna go out on a limb, I like Daniel Hemrick.
Okay. So I follow that logic. I see where you're going with that. That actually makes a lot of sense. And probably a very safe choice for a like a long shot. That's a good option, especially getting into the Cup and just debuting and just winning it. That's definitely possible. I like it because, see, I went more generic on everything, and of course I'm just like, I'm not thinking outside the box, and I do have the same camp as you though for breakout year, because I do have Chase Elliott as a breakout. Now, it probably could have been said that he had his breakout year, 2 years ago in his rookie season because he was a rookie. He's the son of Chase Elliott, all that, which is all fair. Everything up to this point has been fair. I just think that this year will be a breakout year for him where he'll win more than 3, and it will be more of a contender for, an actual legit shot at the Final Four. I wish they would get rid of that. I hate saying that for NASCAR, but anyway, where it's an actual more stability chance rather than a up down. I think this year he'll be more level. It'll be 3 or more race wins, potentially early on. I could see him totally doing Daytona 500 as well. Bust year, I'm going to go with kind of like your same logic with the whole Logano thing busting. I'm going to go with Truex, and just simply because he's changing teams, he's staying in the same brand, but I don't know if that whole scenario is going to facilitate him being able to run where he ran with Furniture Row and Bass Pro. I know he's bringing over Bass Pro, but I just don't know if that's going to translate as well. And without that consistency, I can see what your point is like Penske tends to be either up or down, but they're very good at that. But so that's why I can understand the Logano thing. With Truex, I think it's just he rode that up, and I don't know if it's going to carry over. So I'm going to say, Sally, I'm going to say bust on that.
With Truex, I could see that going either way too. In one way, I don't see it because Truex won the championship in 2017 and came back and came so close to winning a championship again. I mean, he answered the call pretty well. But when Carl Edwards, moved into the 19 car back in 15,
I think so. Yeah, I think it was the 4-car field in 15.
He fell pretty good. He struggled. So I could really see that going one way or the other. So good pick. I hope it's not a bust because I like Truex, but.
And that's what kills me to say it, yeah, because I don't. It's not that I don't. It's not that I want him to bust. I just don't know if it's going to translate the best, and so I could see that happening, considering the fact that he did run so well. So like a bust season for a driver is got to be somebody who's already been at their top of the game or is at the top of the game and then doesn't do so hot. You can't throw like an Austin Dillon into this. It's not it's not how a bust can work. So that, yeah, it pains me to say it, but he's one of the few that I had to pick from when I was thinking about it. So I just decided that. And then kind of coming in hot, I could see riding on the fact of the Penske success in that camp with Ryan Blaney. So I think Ryan Blaney is my coming hot at the Daytona 500. He's definitely got a shot at winning it. And I can see him having a lot of momentum early on in the season. He might be able to carry it too. I don't know, but I just think that he's somebody who could do that. My long shot for that then is going to be Bubba Wallace, and just simply because it's a possibility on a restrictor plate race that anybody could win. So if anybody can win, might as well pick somebody. And
well, he's got to keep the fenders on the car first,
right? And that's the thing. And like, if
he has a problem with that,
yeah, that's the only problem about picking him. Is I would say Paul Menard, or I'd say Eric Almirola, and Eric's actually really good. I mean, he's already won last year, so he definitely has a shot. But if going long shot, we got to go further than that, considering Eric's definitely a solid choice. Paul would be good, and Paul might actually even be better because he does keep the fenders on. And I think Paulson tends to get wrecked not on his own accord. Bubba tends to just flat out, I don't know what happens to him. It's like one there he's on the moment and he's on the track, and the next moment he's not. So if he can hold it together and hold on to the car and everything works and he stays out of trouble and he doesn't make trouble, he could win. But again, it's just because anybody can win at that race. So I'm not making I'm not making a whole 3-course meal here. It's pretty simple. It's either anybody can win. So
yeah. Well, stranger things have happened at Daytona, such as Trevor Payne, which I believe he was driving the
21. Yeah, Wood Brothers.
Same one that Paul Menard will be bringing in Daytona. So they know how to find victory lane. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, they do. So, well, those are our picks for this show and for next season. We said we keep it short and sweet. Like I said, we've got other topics we can talk about next show. We're going to try to keep them, again, short and sweet through the off season. So next show will probably be something to do with crew chiefs and teams and some of the shakeups with that. And we're just going to keep going throughout the off season. So for those of you who have been watching and listening, we really appreciate it. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you haven't been listening, you never got this far, so you don't know all the good stuff you're missing. But we look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Thanks a lot.